Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Cebi and I do educational and lifestyle content. To all my returning Sabis, hello darlings, I hope you're doing well. Today I am doing 10 project management knowledge areas. Let's get into it. The 10 project management knowledge areas is the process that we use to manage projects. So let's name them. We have our project integration management, project time management, project scope management, project cost management, project quality management, project risk management, project communication management, project stakeholder management, project procurement management, and project resource management. Those are the 10 knowledge areas that we live by. It's like our Bible. If you are a project manager and you are not aware of those knowledge areas, there is no way that you will run your project smoothly. So I have prepared some notes here, so I will be looking down now and then. So project integration management, let's go to literature. What is literature saying? It says it is a coordination between the resources, stakeholders, and the project elements which ensures to execute the project end to end successfully is project integration management. So the project integration management is like an umbrella for all other knowledge areas, because that's where now we integrate everything else within that knowledge area. So on that knowledge area, that's when then as well we can develop the project charter, develop the project management plan, direct and manage project work, monitor and control project works. So now we have our project scope. The second one is project scope management. Project scope management, it's when now we have an understanding what is included on our project and what is excluded. That is our guidance. What is it that we're going to be managing on this project? What is the scope of work? And whatever we do when we run our project, we work according to the scope. Not beyond that, exactly what the scope entails. So the literature says the project scope management is to define what is included in the project and what is not included in the project. So the scope of the project of work, it involves factors to execute the project successfully. You get to understand what is it that you have to do on this project so that your project can be executed properly. We have our third one now, the project time management. That's where now we use our schedule to manage our timeline. We will plan as to what task are we going to be doing on this project and what is the time frame. So we use that project time management knowledge areas so that our projects are executed on time. So the literature says here, project schedule management involves the listing of the tasks, deliverables, duration, stakeholder assigned, start and end date of the task within the project. So we get to have a timeline. When are we starting our project and when is the project ending, having all our deliverables there. So now on the fourth one, which is the project cost management. That's where we deal with budget. When we receive budget, we have to have ways to manage it. When we're running projects, we have to execute our projects within the budget that we are being allocated. Nothing beyond that. If you do it less than the budget that you have been allocated, kudos to you. You are a brilliant project manager. Then you have a saving for your company. Ha ha ha. So literature says Cost is the most critical factor in any organization. Imali, money. The process of estimating, allocating and controlling the cost of the whole project comes in project cost management. So that one, we need to be on top of it. The budget is fixed according to the project activities. So if budget is allocated as per the activity, as per the resources. The costs are estimated during the planning phase, oh yes, and controlled if it exceeds during execution. So the project costs are like, we estimate before you can start any project. You will do estimation. What is this project going to cost? So normally we will use previous projects that is similar to get the cost estimates of what can this project cost. So it's normally like a roughly, we're not sure how much is it gonna cost, so it's just estimates. Then we'll put that budget for that particular project. Now we go to our fifth knowledge area, which is project quality management. I get equality. It's very important when you're running projects. You have to deliver project as per the intended quality that was required. We don't want any things that we have to redo work, and you don't want to be known as that project manager who does project out of quality. Like if you build things are falling apart within that 2 years. So you make sure that quality assurance and quality control is in place for your project. Let's look at the literature. What is the literature saying? The process of achieving assured quality with respect to scope, time and cost is project quality management. With proper quality management, an organization can achieve customer satisfaction and enhance further productivity. The process of quality management is in 3 phases of project management, which is during planning, during our execution, as well as during monitoring and controlling. So that is the quality. Are we executing our project with the desired quality? So let's move to our 6th stage, that is project resource management. That one. When we do projects, normally in companies, there is no team like that designated to do projects. So every time you will get resources from different departments to execute your project. Some people will outsource, like that's when now we'll go out of tenders and then we advertise so that we get consultants to do our projects. We get contractors to do our projects. So resource management is when now you have to understand that do you have skills that are required to do this project, and how are you going to manage all those resources for your project? Resources are also like in terms of equipment that you're going to be using. Do you have enough equipment to execute your project, or do you have areas that you have identified where we can hire and outsource the services that we require for this project? So let's see what is the literature saying. It says the project resource management involves managing human resource, material, equipment, knowledge and time. Resource plays as a very important role during the execution of the project. There are 6 project resource management processes in 3 phases of project management. So in resource management, it goes through the phases of the project. If you have not watched my video of the different phases, I would link it on this video. There are phases that I have explained. So which means in resource management, you will need resources from start until the end. It's all the phases of the project. Now, project communication management, that one, Lalela, you need to master this one. Because in projects you deal with stakeholders. Some are external, some are internal. So you need to have a process in place as to how are you going to communicate the progress of the project? How are you going to communicate everything that is happening within the project so that all stakeholders involved are informed of what is happening with the progress of the project. So let's hear what is the literature saying. It says here, the project communication management ensures that the right message is sent, received, and understood by the right people. Those are your stakeholders. Communication is one of the most critical factors affecting the success of the project. Communication has to be straightforward. Communication has to be out there. For example, when you need to procure things, you need to know that communication is there for people to receive those equipment that you have procured. Communication needs to be out there to inform the stakeholders, when are you planning to commission this project. Communication has to be out there if you are building houses, that you communicate to the deeds officer, when are you going to receive the title deeds for the people. So like communication, it's like a relationship, Mose. If there's no proper communication, that relationship doesn't really go well. So even in projects, we need proper communication, proper channels of communication. Now we move to our project risk management. So sometimes you will get project managers. Now that at the moment I'm working on the compliance side, so people will be like, no, I don't have any risk in my project. Everything is going well. Risk is things that you foresee happening. It's things that they have not happened on the project, but it's things that you think if they happen, they might delay your project or they might affect your project. So it's important then to identify the risk on the project and put mitigation actions with all the risk that you are identifying. So risk management, that's how you will manage them, and you manage your risk well. So let's see what is the literature saying. It says here, project risk management involves identifying the risks, analyze the risk, and control the risk. The risk management is done to reduce the impact of risk on project space. Yes. So when we identify risk, we're trying to reduce the impact. If this risk happen, at least you already have a plan in place as to how will you manage it, and how will you come out of it. So you already have a plan in place. That's what it says. And then says the risk identified can be uncertain, and have a huge impact on the resource, processes, technology, and schedule. Yes. So if you have a risk, for example, rainfall, if you execute your project during winter, you will delay. Like especially in the Western Cape, it rains in winter, so your project will delay. So that risk, you already have to identify it so that you foresee how can you then manage it, and how can you do your task. Maybe, for example, you have to work outside and indoors. So now in winter, then you can plan that you will do the indoor task, so that then when spring comes, you go do the outdoor task or items that needs to be done. And then now we move to our project procurement management. That is our ninth knowledge area. Project procurement management. So most company, they will outsource. So which means you go out on tenders. You go and get your consultants, you go and get your contractors. So procurement management, it's when now to manage the contracts in a way that is fair to both the company and the contractor, to ensure that whatever agreements that you had entered, because when you do a tender, you enter into an agreement that these are the things that I require for you to do, and these are the clauses that we will work on. So it's both the company and the contractor that you work into the benefit of making sure that this contract is successful and execute what is intended to do. So let's check what is the literature saying. It says the project procurement management involves obtaining goods, services, and suppliers. Resource includes all the materials required to complete the project. Procurement management processes are involved in planning, executing, and monitoring phase of project. So sometimes, yes, even the goods, is part of the procurement, that you will go purchase your materials, your equipment. So those are the part. How can then we manage it well as per our project procurement management? Now we go to our last knowledge area, that is project stakeholder management. So stakeholder management, before the project even commences, you need to identify who are your stakeholders, so that you know exactly the people that you're dealing with, you know the people that you need to give feedback to, who is involved in this project. So stakeholders are the people that have interest in this project, that, for example, if this project may stop, they may be affected on it. So normally it will be the sponsor that is as a stakeholder, and the receiving end, the people that has to benefit from this project. So those are your stakeholders. You need to identify them and you need to manage them well. Let's check what is the literature saying. It says the project stakeholder management is the process of identifying suitable stakeholders for the project and meet the expectation of the selected stakeholders. So as you do your project, you need to meet the expectations of the stakeholders, the end users normally. And then it says the success or failure of the project depends on the key stakeholders. The success or failure of the project depends on the key stakeholders. So stakeholders as well can be the people that need to assist you on this project, your engineers, your designers, your project schedulers, your project admin. Those are the people that are a project team and you need to manage them well. So these are our 10 knowledge areas for project management. It's our Bible, we live by it. Everything that we do on projects, we use these 10 knowledge areas. So if you watch until the end, please give me a like and a heart on the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, stay blessed. Goodbye.